Everybody's kissing the ring. God damn, he looks like shit.
Our Weijia Zhang is also there. Weijia, good morning.
Good morning, Dana, and good morning to everybody. Two leaders met over dinner at Mar-a-Lago, and it was a meeting that Canada sought out, according to the Canadian Broadcasting Company. Now, earlier this week, President Biden warned that these tariffs would be counterproductive, but President-elect Trump insisted.
Do you ever get tired of lying? Okay, stop with the debate.
They would protect U.S. manufacturing and bring even more companies to America.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's visit to Mar-a-Lago comes as
Easier to kiss the ring.
President-elect Trump threatens to impose a 25% tariff on imported goods from Canada and Mexico. Trudeau has warned against the move. Both North American allies are weighing retaliatory tariffs on U.S. products. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum spoke by phone with Trump on Wednesday, but she said the issue did not come up. From world leaders to tech giants like ex-CEO Elon Musk, who spent Thanksgiving at Mar-a-Lago with the Trump family. The line to meet with Trump is long. On Wednesday, Trump hosted Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg at his Florida resort for dinner. Trump's incoming Deputy Chief of Staff, Stephen Miller.
We'll see what comes of that. And
I can't believe Cenk tweeted what he tweeted yesterday where he's like, oh, the establishment has failed. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how I don't know how we, I don't know what to say about that. What is this? Oh, that's funny. I've been trying to figure out why I'm more optimistic now than I was before the election. Even though I was so against the guy who won, I know now MAGA is not my mortal enemy, and neither is the extreme left. My mortal enemy is the establishment, and they have been defeated. Dude, to say that the Donald Trump administration is not the establishment is so crazy. Like they already ran the country. Okay? Not only did they run the country, but they didn't do a great anti-establishment job at it. It's like no different than saying, oh, Donald Trump is going to it's no different than saying Donald Trump is going to drain the swamp. Just give your Twitch channel to Cenk. He owns you and is the left. He is the left. He is. I'm not. I'm not the left. Did he say other? It's not just that the establishment candidate lost. It's that their media is mortally wounded. Yeah. Fox News, on the other hand, not the establishment media, it seems. The source of their strength was not insipid politicians like Mitch McConnell and Joe Biden. The source of their strength was their propaganda machine, the mainstream media. Now online media is strong enough that their oppressive monopoly on American mind has been broken. Now we're in the jungle. They hate that. I love it. This uncontrolled marketplace of ideas is where I'm home. I'd rather be the populous woods than in the establishment prison. Is this whole meeting the new president-elect at their residence thing kind of weird? Is it more common than I realized? It's unique because we haven't really had a situation like this before where a former president who has already like established relations with these other global leaders before has lost an election and then won it again. So that's the reason why it's like it's both unique, but also it's not unique because it's Donald Trump. I think it's more so like, has it happened before? I assume it has happened before. I don't know enough. Why does this have 68,000 likes? What do you think, dude? Because it's on Twitter. You say anything right-wing on Twitter, you're going to get a lot of love. I thought we established this. Right-wing, he is the left. I think he's booming out, okay? He's just like, he has spent so much of his time duking it out with establishment Democrats for understandable reasons, because the Democratic Party is a direct pathway, a direct hurdle in front of any sort of leftist mobilization, and he sees them as his immediate enemy. But while I also understand where he's coming from on that front, I don't have the same optimism that he has in terms of this misplaced optimism that he has in terms of like the Republicans winning. They're going to I think the Republicans are going to put the left in jail, you know? I don't think the establishment has been defeated. I see the situation as more uniparty than anything else. I see it as two sides of the same coin, with one side being far worse than the other for sure. But the side that is far worse than the other is not the Democratic Party. The side that's far worse than the other is the Republican Party. It's not like the Republicans hide their rampant corruption. Like, things might change, but not for the better. Things will change for the worse. That's the way I see it. I see it as like Donald Trump centralizing power even harder than previous Republican administrations have at the behest of corporations and the wealthy. And maybe he'll throw some populist crumbs here and there in the process. Like, one thing that he actually changed was the messaging around deficit hawking and the messaging around social safety nets. Like, he was like, I'm never touching Social Security, for example, right? That's new for the Republicans. Now, does that mean that he's not going to touch Social Security? He probably will touch Social Security as long as it's like in the interest of corporations. I don't know why he says this kind of stuff. I just don't like, I've known this man for my whole life. This is my uncle. So I just can't, I don't see him becoming like a right-wing grifter, but I totally understand why people who are unfamiliar with him or know his like perspective at all see this kind of shit and arrive at that conclusion. Maybe I'm on the copium train, but I just don't think he's like, I don't know. I just don't think he's like, I'm too unk-pilled. I'm not if he was not my uncle, if he was like some random content creator, I'd be like, he's going down the Jimmy Dore route for sure. Like, that's what I would think. But knowing him personally, I don't think he's doing that. But, only time will tell. Does that make sense? Just don't turn against us abolitionists like he has. I mean, the funniest thing is, like, if he's ever heard me talk to an abolitionist like Lolo or whatever, or even yourself, Cinemarxism, he would probably understand where I'm coming from a little bit better. But I also don't see any valid reason to single out abolitionists or anarchists in general to be like, those are my enemies, like to portray myself as like more moderate and more rational than they are. I have my disagreements. But I still understand that people like yourself are directly at the forefront of moving American society in a positive direction. I'm never going to cast aside people that are I'm never going to cast aside people, even if I have disagreements with them, on as long as they are fighting the good fight. This is one of the things that I have tried to maintain as a position, to actually create a big tent within some semblance of like anti-capitalist movement in this country.
Own company, and he has his own agenda, but he's made clear that he wants to support the national renewal of America under President Trump's leadership.
It's a drastic change from Trump's first term, when he clashed with big tech companies and even sued several of them, alleging censorship.
We're going to hold big tech very accountable.
This time around, a long list of Silicon Valley billionaires poured money into the Trump campaign and flooded social media with congratulatory notes when he won. Chris Lewis is a tech policy expert who worked for the Obama campaign.
I think they're engaging in smart politics. I think what the public should see is that folks who have access often get preferential treatment from a Trump administration.
Elon Musk even scored a position advising the incoming administration as head of the newly created Department of Government Efficiency. He and Vivek Ramaswamy, who's a Republican businessman, will be heading down to Washington next week. At least they're planning to meet with House Republicans to talk about their plans to slash regulations.
Oh, God.